we wouldn't want to associate with someone who is not behaving properly. So in the same way, nobody would like to associate with you if you are not well behaved. So let us start. Okay. So the importance of etiquette. Now we all must have heard this word etiquette so many times. Okay. So etiquette is basically another word for good behavior. And we are all expected, as I told you, to conduct ourselves in a certain manner in certain places. And of course, when we are small children, we are taught by our parents and teachers to behave ourselves and to behave well and to be polite. And then, of course, we grow up and then we come to college. And in college, we like to rebel and we like to do whatever we like to do. We like to behave in our own way. Okay. So, we've all been through that phase. But in spite of all that, it's a very good thing that you should conduct yourself in a good manner in different social settings. So what are etiquettes? Etiquettes are nothing but good manners. Okay. So there are a couple of definitions given that you must be able to see on your screen right now. So don't really, you don't really have to by heart these definitions. Just remember that etiquettes are nothing but good behaviors and standards of good behaviors, which every one of us is expected to follow. Okay, which we are taught in our childhood and which we are expected to follow even when we grow up. Okay, and it is required because it projects an image of you as a person and as a professional, right? So whatever you hear today, look at it from a different perspective. Okay, if you expect others to behave around you in a certain way, it works both ways. They expect you to behave in that way around them. So it's like a give and take relationship. Okay, so why etiquette? It helps you to feel relaxed and confident. Okay, uh, some of us might feel that being ill-mannered or behaving in a bad way makes us look cool, but if you really follow the etiquettes and if you really follow things, it helps you to relax and feel confident, creates a positive impression about you as a person, about your professional, and going ahead, whatever company or business you will represent, it creates a positive impression about you. Okay, even if you become a business owner, even if you decide to become an entrepreneur and start your own venture and start your own business, still you need to follow these etiquettes. Okay, enhances your credibility. Of course, people would like to associate with someone who's credible, and people like to do business with you, right? You wouldn't like to do business with an ill-mannered person. uh, Works both ways. Okay, so some general etiquettes, some generalized etiquettes. I'll be looking at some specific scenarios as we go ahead. Some general basic etiquettes which every single one of us should follow whenever in any kind of a setting. Right, and I'm sure many of you would be following it. If you are not following it, please start following it right now. Okay, the reason why this session is being taken with you right now is because you should inculcate these behaviors in your day-to-day life right from now onwards. Hopefully, somewhere in the future, when the scenario changes, I should be able to come and address you face to face. Then we will also try and do some role plays. Okay. So use the polite words. Among the first lessons that we are given in our childhood is use the polite words. Sorry, thank you, please. Okay. These are the three most basic polite words which we are expected to use, and amongst the first words that are taught to us. And even now, if you use these words regularly, it does create a very good impression. Like, for example, if you go to a restaurant and a waiter comes to serve you, okay, of course, that person, that waiter, he or she is doing, they are doing their job, right? But in spite of that, if you thank them after they have given you a service, or if you go to a shop and you buy something and the shopkeeper, gives you whatever you're buying and you thank that person, you say a thank you. It goes a long way in creating a good image about you. That person will always remember you. Okay. Or saying please, when you ask somebody to do something, just saying, can you please do this for me? It's not just what you say, it is how you say it that really matters. Instead of saying, oh, get me some water, can you please get me some water, or can you please get that file for me? Okay, people remember these things, and at the back of the mind, they understand that you're a polite and a well behaved person. They like to be around you. Okay, and of course, sorry, if you are at mistake, if you happen to bump into someone, or if you drop something, saying a sorry does not really take away anything from you. So use these words whenever required. There is no need to overdo it. There is no need to just keep saying these words for the sake of saying it, but whenever required, say it. Okay. uh, try to add people by the names. Okay, especially I told you about the scenario of a restaurant. When you go to a restaurant and some waiter is serving you, always try to find out that person's name and address the person by the name. It gives a very nice and a personal touch, and people like to hear it. Okay, just like you go into a new scenario and somebody addresses you by your name for the first time, it makes you feel good. Okay, so try this next time you go to a restaurant. Try to find out the name of the waiter, address that person by the name, and you see the difference in the kind of service that you get. Always be polite and friendly with everyone wherever you go. Okay, being rude, being loud, being harsh is not equivalent to being strong. Okay, that might give you a sense of being strong, but it's not actually that. Being polite and friendly will always help you, and watch your volume and tone. Okay, as I said, it is not just what you say, but how you say it that matters, and it matters more. Okay, so always watch your volume and your tone. Okay, no need to shout at anyone, and always have a nice volume and a tone. If you don't like being spoken to in a certain way, avoid speaking to others in that way. Right? In case you're not feeling well, we will talk a little bit about workplace etiquettes as we go ahead. But this is something that applies to all the scenarios, and especially now in today's condition that we are facing. Right? So in case you're not feeling well, okay, so it's a very good thing, to be a workaholic and to be dedicated to your work and say, oh, even if I'm not feeling well, I will still go to the office and I'll work. But it's not a very, something that I would really recommend. If you're not feeling well, excuse yourself if possible and stay at home. Okay, and don't make a big deal out of it. There are some people who, when they're not feeling well, they like to make it a national issue, and they like to tell everyone, and they like to post it on social media. I'm not feeling well and I'm down with fever, and marked safe and feeling not well. I mean, there's really no need to make a big deal out of it. Just tell the relevant person, excuse yourself, and stay away. Okay, and that's the proper way. You really don't have to, make a big deal out of it, or think that your illness is a national issue which somehow the prime minister of the country should discuss. No need to do that. Okay, just keep it to yourself, because uh, it looks and sounds very dramatic. I mean, you must be having friends on social media. Okay, we'll talk about social media etiquettes also, but you must be having friends. They post everything on social media. Okay, not feeling well, I sneezed 4 times since morning, I coughed 5 times since morning. Q, not required. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just stay away. Okay. Of course, another very basic thing that we are taught: when you cough and you sneeze, please cover yourself with a nice handkerchief, look away, and always say sorry. And of course, don't pass it on to others. Okay. I mean, yes, we all agree that sharing is caring, but some things like your illness or your cold are best not shared. These are things that are best kept to yourself. So don't apply the sharing is caring formula over here. Okay. So whenever not feeling well, keep away. Another very basic etiquette which we should be following in all scenarios is punctuality. Right? Punctuality is basically being on time, respecting the other people's time, and respecting the other person also. Right? This includes being punctual in your college. This includes being punctual in your personal appointments. This includes being punctual whenever there is a meeting you have with someone. Because being on time, okay, now this is also a habit. People who are late are habitually late, and उनको लगता है कि चलता है, because every time they are late, they make some or the other excuse and they get away with it. But don't get into this habit, right? Because it's a wrong habit basically. If somebody has given you an appointment, that person has taken time out from their busy schedule to see you. Okay, please respect that. If they were not meeting you, if they had not given you the appointment, they would have been doing something else. So if you're not on time, you are basically disrespecting that person and that person's time. You don't want your time to be wasted. Don't waste other people's time. Make it a point to be punctual. Be at least 10 minutes early for every appointment. Okay. Nowadays, we all have Google Maps. We know the road. We know the time it takes. Please time yourself accordingly. In spite of that, if you are going to get late for something, make it a point to inform. There are many people who don't inform. Okay. It is something that is very basic and very natural that comes to us, but there are still many people who don't inform that I'll be getting late, I am stuck in traffic, or there is some kind of an emergency. Please don't do that. Don't wait for the other person to call you. If you know that you're getting delayed, make it a point to drop a message or to give a call. Rather than dropping a message, give a call. Okay. And give an appointment only when you are sure. Don't just randomly say, okay, I'll meet you day after tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And then you realize you have something else planned for that time slot. Okay. Give an appointment only when you're 100% sure. But punctuality is one of the basic things. And it is very sad to say that, we Indians are known to be not punctual, which is a very bad thing. In fact, some people consider being late as, being, I'm some kind of a superstar. Like there are so many actors who like to make their producers and directors wait. That's not a very good thing. Okay. So be on time. It's a very basic thing, a very basic discipline. When you are on time, you can do your work properly. You can finish your work on time. Okay. And especially when you are young and when you get new into your professional life, this thing will be observed very closely. Okay. A person who keeps getting late as a matter of habit, as a matter of routine, and makes excuses, people will come to know. So inculcate this habit from now onwards, right? While communicating with someone, whenever you're talking to someone, whenever you're talking to a person, uh, always give them your undivided attention. Okay. This is very true even of your personal conversations as it is true of your professional conversations, right? If you're talking to someone and if you're trying to convey some kind of a point, and if you find that the person is not attentive, looking away, diverted, you don't feel very good. In fact, in some scenarios you also might feel insulted. Okay. Nowadays there are very bad habit that people have, that they are on their phone 24 by 7. Okay. So even when they're talking to someone, they are sitting and they are busy, with their WhatsApp and their Facebook and their Instagram and whatnot. Do not build this habit. And if you have this habit, please break it. It creates a very, very bad impression. Okay. It is like you're communicating with a person who is halfway across the world, but you're ignoring the person who is sitting in front of you right now. You don't want to be ignored, so don't ignore others. Okay. And if there is something really very important, a life and death situation that you have to handle, there is a WhatsApp message that you have to answer, or there is an Instagram post which you have to post. Otherwise, aliens might invade the earth. So please excuse yourself. Tell the other person that, look, I have to see this. I have to post this message. Post it, then put your device away and give that person in front of you undivided attention. Again, it works both ways. You don't like to be ignored. Don't ignore others. When the other person is talking, do not interrupt. Just listen. And, I have worked in the hospitality industry. I have worked in hotels. And this thing of not to interrupt and just listen, it is a very, very useful thing, especially when you're dealing with somebody's complaints or when somebody is very agitated and complaining and, shouting. In a scenario like that, if you interrupt, if you try to offer any explanation or apology when the person is talking, that person is only going to flare up. Okay. That person is trying to tell you something, not only when there is a complaint, but even in a normal course of conversation. The person is trying to tell you something, that person has something in mind, and that person is talking to you, that person is in a flow. If you interrupt, you're going to break that person's flow. And there are many people who have this habit of interrupting. Okay. Check yourself. If you have this habit of interrupting, please get rid of it, because then slowly you will find people will not want to talk to you. Okay. It's fine when the other person is telling you something. There are many things that will pop up in your mind that you will remember, that you would like to say. Make a note, and please say this only after the person is done speaking, but do not interrupt. Okay. Be polite, especially in harsh situations. We all face a scenario where we get into an argument or we get into a fight, and sometimes that argument or a fight gets rather, I would say, loud, and a lot of colorful words and a lot of colorful language is used. Okay. The best way to deal with a scenario like this is be polite and be cool. Okay. If you remain cool, the other person will calm down. Okay. Of course, respect other person's point of view. You don't have to agree with that person. That person doesn't have to agree with you. You can both have your differences, and you can respect each other's point of view without affecting your personal relation if you are good friends. Okay. Always remember, in an argument, no personal attacks. Okay. Do not say that you are wrong or you are a fool or you don't know. Always say that your argument is wrong, your point is wrong, what you are saying is wrong. As I said, it is not what you say, but how you say it that really matters. Okay. We all must have, faced a scenario where you are just trying to express your point of view, but somebody must have, taken it otherwise and personally offended you or personally attacked you. That is just not done. If somebody has done it, it is wrong. You don't do it to others. Okay. Also, when you're communicating with someone, especially face to face communication, when you're talking to someone, observe that person's body language. Look for signals. It might be that that person has something more important to do. That person might have, might want to go somewhere. If that is the case, it will clearly be visible in that person's body language. That person will be constantly checking their watch. They'll be looking away, looking at the door, fidgeting with something, shaking their feet, shaking their legs, looking not interested, not looking at you. This clearly means that the person is not interested in the conversation or has to go. Ask politely, excuse me, it looks like you need to go somewhere. Can we take this up some other time? Okay, that will be appreciated. Instead of just sitting there, making the other person sit and going on and on and on about what you want to say. Okay, it is always better to take up a conversation at another time when that person is more interested. It will be a more fruitful conversation rather than just having the conversation for the sake of having it there and then. Okay, always maintain eye contact with the other person. I told you this. That means avoid any devices or gadgets. Looking at the person, eye contact means that I am giving you my complete undivided attention. I respect you. I respect your point of view, and I'm here to talk to you. Eye contact doesn't mean that you try to hypnotize the person. एकदम आंखों में आंखें डाल के उसको hypnotize नहीं करना है, but just the general area of a person's face, which includes the forehead, the eyes, the nose. If you keep your gaze in this area, it is as good as an eye contact. Okay. Generally, especially if you're meeting a person for the first time, you don't know that person very well, or if it's in a professional scenario, avoid topics which can be controversial, like politics and religion, and there are some other issues, social issues, which can be controversial. People have their sensitivities, people have their, likes and dislikes. You want to build a rapport, stay away from controversial topics, right? After you have built a rapport with the person, after you have known that person well, after you have built a certain level of trust, then you can discuss anything under the sun. But till then, avoid these topics when you are new. Okay, especially in a public place. In a public place, you will often find there are people. If you go to a cafe or any public place or a library or maybe some other place, you will find people talking on these issues, loudly, and you are tempted to join in or you are tempted to rebut. Generally avoid it because it's no use. You're only going to bang your head on the wall. So avoid these topics till you have built a certain level of rapport with that person. Okay, keep your humor to minimum. Again, in the initial meetings with the person, when you don't know the person very well, okay, that person or those people, they may not share your sense of humor. Again, you don't know what their sensitivities are. You crack a joke, you say something with good humor, with good spirit, not meaning to offend anyone, and you never know how it might be taken. Okay, so keep your humor to minimum. Okay, avoid bragging and gossiping. Okay, again, you don't have to go around trying to say, "Arey, mere ko pucho na, mere ko sab aata hai. I know, I have done this, I have done that." It really doesn't work. Okay, uh, I have known people like that. I'm sure even you must have known people like that who try to show the world that, oh, I'm such a great person. But if you really are a great person, your greatness will show in your behavior, and it will ultimately people will know. Okay, if you brag, people will see through your bragging. Okay, and avoid gossiping. I mean, that's one of the biggest waste of time and energy is to gossip, to just sit and talk about some third person. Yaar, wo aise kiya, usne aise kiya. What difference does it make to you? If you have time, please make good use of your time. So avoid gossiping, because when you indulge in gossip, okay, when you are a gossip monger and you indulge in gossip, let's say if you have this habit of talking about other people behind their back, the people to whom you're talking, they will also think about you in the same way. Okay, array, behind my back, this person also might be gossiping about me. So avoid gossip, avoid getting the tag of a gossip monger. Don't do that. Okay, if you really have a lot of time, read a book, listen to music, do anything, but avoid these things. Okay, A little bit about email and telephone etiquettes. Now, email and telephone etiquettes are in themselves quite big independent topics, and hopefully in the future I will address these topics independently. But let me just touch upon them over here. Okay. So yeah, so talking about email etiquettes, just like in your face-to-face conversation with the other person, even in your email, even in the written word, right? Your tone and language are very important. Okay, just like you don't like to listen to a harsh word, nobody likes to read a harsh word written to them. Okay, don't reply when agitated. You might get a very aggressive sounding and an agitated sounding email, and you might be tempted to reply there and then. But just as we are told that, if you're angry, don't talk back to other person at the same time, you know count up to 10 or move away. The same thing applies to your emails also. When replying to your emails, do not reply when agitated. If somebody has written a harsh email to you or sent a very harsh message to you, this is applicable in your personal and professional life. If somebody, if you have had a fight with a friend, or if you had an argument, or with someone, and the person sends you a very harsh message or harsh email, you might be tempted to reply there and then कि अच्छा मेरे दिखाता हूँ अभी मेरे को ऐसे लिखा है क्या दिखाता हूँ. But don't do that, because later on when your mood changes, you will feel bad about yourself. You'll feel bad, and it happens so many times that we reply without checking on the facts, and we reply and we are very rude, and then when things cool down, you feel bad that I should not have spoken, or I should not have replied in this kind of a tone. So whenever you are agitated, whether it's in a face-to-face conversation, email, WhatsApp message, text message, or whatever, do not reply. Okay, just move away, deep breathing karo. Okay, cool down, and then write. I always tell people, that whenever there is a agitated or an aggressive kind of an email and you need to reply to it, for 1 hour just don't do anything about it. Okay, when things have sufficiently cooled down, open a new Word document on your desktop, write down the proper professional point to point reply to it, ask someone else to read it, and then send it. Okay. uh, Check your spelling and grammar always while sending an email or a text message. Check your spelling and grammar. I know nowadays there is texting language that is being used, in which a person who is used to normal English will not understand it. Okay, TTYL and LOL and all these things, but it is always helps to know the proper language, and don't use this kind of a abbreviated language in your professional or official communication. Okay, reply on time. The other person is waiting for your reply because some work might be pending your reply. While putting any attachments either in your emails or in your text messages or WhatsApp messages, always check for the size of the attachments. Always make sure there are no viruses. Okay, you don't want the other person to spend 2 hours downloading your attachments. There are other ways of saying it, right? Email etiquettes, know the company policy. So when you go for your internment, uh, or later on when you start working somewhere, there is always a company policy about sending emails, who is to be marked CC, who is not to be marked CC, and so on and so forth. Know the company policy and follow it. Official channels to be used for official work only. There is absolutely no reason to be doing any personal work or any personal chat or gossip on official channels. Okay, just like you don't like office work coming into your house, it works the other way around. Okay, think before putting anything in writing. It is on record. So whenever you are putting any facts and figures into writing, and this is very, very important. Okay, all official emails that are sent from your official email ID, it is on the record. Tomorrow that thing can be used as evidence. Okay, so before you're putting any facts or figures in writing, be 100% sure that these are facts are correct. There is nothing wrong in it. And again, do not use any kind of a language that might be construed as threatening or intimidating to anyone, because again, it is on record. It goes against you. Okay, formal language only. No abbreviation, no slangs, no jargon. So abbreviation means, as I said, LOL, TTYL, and there are so many, ROTFL and these things. No abbreviations, no slangs. Slangs are, hey dude, hey man, yo baby, things like this. And jargon are the technical language that you use in your work life, which an outsider may not understand. Okay, your emails should be very easy to understand and polite sounding. uh, in our normal personal life, when we are communicating with our friends or family, it's okay, but in all official communication, these things need to be followed. Okay, avoid smileys in your emails. Okay, phone etiquettes: always answer the call within 3 rings, in your personal as well as professional life. Right, nowadays we all have phones where, if you can't pick up the call, you can always send a message. Use speaker only when necessary. In all scenarios, use speakerphone only when necessary. Do not put on the speaker, uh, because people around may not be interested in your conversation. Take notes if required, especially if it's a some kind of an important technical issue. Take notes if required. Mind the language always. Okay. There are situations in which you might be tempted to use certain colorful words, certain strong words. Don't do that. Okay, this is especially applicable if the person you're talking to is your colleague as well as a friend. Okay, your friendship is outside the workplace and work time. In workplace, your colleagues, mind the language. Okay, and sound cheerful. That's very important. When a person is talking to you on the phone, you can make out from the tone of the voice how exactly that person is. Okay, so sound cheerful, and it always works. Okay, check your volume. uh, so you're using an electronic device, you're using a phone. Talking normally is going to help. It is not like, you see in the old black and white movies where a person talking on the phone has to shout loudly to be heard. Okay, you're using a modern electronic device, and where you can just talk normally and you will be heard. No need to shout. uh, no need to make everyone around you know what you're talking about. Take permission while putting someone on hold. And just like when you're talking to a person face to face, even on phone, no interruptions, no diversions. Let the other person say whatever they are saying. No interruption, no diversion. Right. Now, when you're introducing yourself to someone, okay, when you meet for the first time, when you're introducing yourself to someone, again, one thing that goes without saying is uninterrupted attention to that person. Do not be looking into your device when you're shaking hands with that person. Put your device away, look at the person, stand straight, and a firm handshake. And introduce your full name. Okay, no nicknames. Okay, don't say my name is Nitin Zoshi and I also call me Jumping Jack or something like that. No, just give your full name. Right, your nicknames later on that person can find out, or maybe that person can give you a new nickname, but just give your full name. Okay, greet the time of the day: good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And if there is a special occasion, happy new year, happy Diwali, merry Christmas, or something like that. And then, of course, after your chat, always say nice meeting you, and congratulate the person if required, if that the occasion is appropriate. If you come to know that the person has recently had some good achievement, congratulate the person. Okay, if you are introducing two other people, okay, two people whom you know, if you are introducing them, always start with introducing the senior person to the junior person with full name and designation. Give a brief one line introduction, and then introduce the junior person to the senior person. Okay, right. Don't just say, okay, these are my two friends, and now introduce yourself. Don't do that. You are the one introducing the two of them. So make a proper introduction. Okay. In a social setting, respect people's personal space. Nowadays, of course, we are following physical distancing, so there is automatically personal space created. But even otherwise, in a social setting, nobody likes, a person coming too near, uh, when you don't have a rapport or when you don't know. Of course, if you're in a very crowded place like in a bus or a train, it's a different thing. But normally, in a social setting like in a restaurant, or if you go to a party, respect the personal space of a person, respect the occasion. Okay, which basically means behave as per the occasion. Okay, uh, don't start putting up a comedy show if you have gone to somebody's funeral. Right, so respect the occasion. Everyone around may not be your best friend, so your best friend might have taken you into a new place, and where everybody else is a stranger to you. So don't start behaving with everyone like they are your best friends. Okay, keep your best friend behavior restricted to your best friend. right? Till the time you build up a rapport with them. Some people might feel awkward. Follow the dress code if there is. Okay, so if you know, come to know that there is a dress code, please follow the dress code and use a phone only when required. Okay, this is again a very bad habit, a very common scenario that we see nowadays in all social settings. There are people sitting around the table and everybody is busy in the phone. Okay, use the phone only when required. Okay, do not make everyone wait. Okay, so typically if you're waiting in a line at a cafe and your number has come, you're there standing right in front of the counter. So please place your order quickly and move away. Okay, don't make everyone wait till you wrap up your call. Bad habit, bad manners. Do not photograph people without their consent, including and especially celebrities. If there is a celebrity or a well-known person over there, don't. Many people have this bad habit. They just go and without permission, they start photographing. Don't do that. Respect people's privacy. And do not photograph anyone without their consent. Okay, don't try to be James Bond and don't try to photograph people. It's bad manners. Okay, and it is also illegal. Putting a headphone does not excuse you from social courtesies. So that doesn't mean that if you put on a headphone, you can go walking and bump into anyone or push anyone just because, oh, I have a headphone, I couldn't hear you. Sorry, you're putting a headphone for your own fun and your convenience. That doesn't excuse you from social courtesies. You still need to observe the basic social courtesies that are required around you. Okay, everybody may not share your taste or enthusiasm for music. Okay, so while listening to music, again, use headphones. Don't make everyone listen to your music, right? In a public place, do not be noisy. Do not take up a lot of space. People do that. They go there in a group and they occupy a lot of tables around them, more than what they require. Not done. If you are expected to play, please pay. That is to say, if you are the host, if you have invited someone for some occasion, or if you have invited the person for a meeting, you are supposed to pay. Okay, don't be miserly. Don't expect the other person to pay, right? And this is especially true if you are the senior one, or if you have taken the initiative to call for that meeting. Okay, that time don't tell that person कि अभी TTMM करेंगे. No, तू तेरा मैं मेरा. No, in an official setting, if you are expected to pay, please pay. In many cafes, you go there and they allow you to sit for a long time without ordering, but all cafes will not allow you. They expect you to order and quickly vacate the table for the next customer. Please respect that. Don't argue with them. Okay. Respect the rules of the venue. Every venue has its rules. Please respect it. Be careful while drinking. Very, and especially be careful after drinking. Okay. So generally avoid driving. If you're going to drink, if you're going to have drinks, take a cab or ask somebody to drop you home. But also don't get drunk and create a scene. Your drinks you should enjoy. Don't let other people enjoy your drinks. Do not take pets if not allowed. There are some very few places in India, but there are places abroad, which are pet friendly. They allow you to bring your pets, but if not allowed, please do not take them. And of course, do not mess up. It's a basic rule, whether at home or outside. All right, social media etiquettes, very important, because every single one of us is on social media nowadays, and especially, I'm sure all of you being college students, you must be spending a lot of time on social media. There are certain etiquettes to be followed over here. Please understand there are different platforms for personal and professional use. Understand them and make use of them accordingly, right? So there are platforms like LinkedIn, which are for professional use. There are platforms typically like WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram, which are for your personal use, right? So please know the difference and use them accordingly. Okay, if you post some professional material on a personal platform, that's still okay. But if you posting personal material on professional platforms like LinkedIn, really creates not a very good image. So keep this in mind. Okay. Avoid stalking. If somebody has refused your friendship request, respect that no. Okay. So, a no means no, right? We all have seen the movie Pink. So a no means no. If the person says no, I don't want to connect with you, respect that and avoid stalking. All right. Just like in real life, on social media also. Be aware of people's sensitivities while sharing and forwarding posts. Okay. So there are a lot of posts that float around on the social media, and many people have a habit of randomly sharing posts without doing a fact check, without doing a reality check. Don't do that kind of a thing. Okay. Generally, as I told you, avoid conversations on politics and religion. The same thing applies to even sharing and forwarding of posts. Generally, avoid posts which have any controversial topic, because again, you post something on your social media, it stays on record. People know what you have posted. Okay. So generally avoid these topics unless, of course, you want to make a career in politics. That's a different thing. But other than that, generally know what your sensitivities. Okay. One thing I told you, avoid or be careful while drinking in a public place. In the same way, be very careful. If you're sitting in a party having some drinks, avoid posting on social media because you never know what you post or what you forward. Okay. And be aware of people's sensitivities while commenting. So again, depending on what kind of a rapport you have with that person, uh, be aware that your comments might not go down very well with the other person. Okay, there are sensitivities, social sensitivities, religious and political sensitivities. Respect them. Okay, and of course, no need to share any work-related information on your social media. You know that I don't like my boss or my colleagues are a pain, or I really don't like my work and blah blah blah. Don't people do that. People, they vent their frustration on social media, and it bounces back on them in their workplace. So avoid these things. When you're really frustrated about something, there is no need to post it on social media. It's better to have a nice one-to-one chat with a very close person, a colleague or a friend, and vent it out that way. Don't make it sarvajanik. Don't make it a topic for everybody to discuss, right? So avoid that. Do not get addicted to social media. Very important. If you are, please kick this addiction. It's a very very unhealthy addiction. uh, I will, sometimes we'll talk about social media addiction, but it's a very bad addiction. It takes away your time, your energy, and all the time that you spend on social media, it is actually wiring your brain in a certain way. Okay. Everybody doesn't share your sense of humor. So, especially on sensitive topics, you might be posting something with no malified intentions, with all good intentions, but it will not go down well with others. Okay. I already told you about drinking and tweeting. Okay. So it's a big no-no. And avoid tagging people if you don't know. Again, this is very annoying. I see so many times people, they tag you without knowing you or without your consent, and you're tagged in all different kinds of posts. Don't do that. Okay. And avoid fights and arguments online. This is again a very common scenario which we see. You upload a post about maybe some cricket match that has happened, and the next thing you know is there are two people who are arguing and fighting over some random topic in your chat. Avoid it. Okay. Just like your personal life does not belong to the social media, your fights and arguments also don't belong to social media. Okay. Better to call up that person or meet that person face to face and settle your argument. There is no need to take it online. You're only going to give other people fodder for gossip. They will talk about you. Okay. uh, there are, I mean, I'm sure we all must be having friends who like to do this kind of fights and arguments on social media. Avoid that. Don't be that kind of a person. Right. uh, do not beg for likes or do not beg for followers. Okay. Your quality of your post and the quality of your page, if there, you will get your likes, you will get your followers in due course of time. Do not beg. Keep updating your profile, especially on all professional platforms like LinkedIn. Please keep updating your profile. Make sure that when people log in, they know the latest information about you. I told you, do not complain about your work or colleagues, and remain updated about the law. It's very very important. Like many people in the recent past have been arrested for posting unverified content about national and social and sensitive issues. So remain updated about the law. If you post anything that is inappropriate or that is likely to cause any kind of a social disturbance, you get into trouble with the law. So be aware of this law and please follow it on social media. Okay. No personal attacks, no personal comments, no inappropriate posts. All these things can land you into trouble. Okay. Avoid too many friends from workplace. So if you're working in some office, don't have too many Facebook friends or otherwise, on your social media. Only a very few, very close ones. Okay. Generally, because you would like to keep a difference between your personal and professional workplace, right? And remember, whatever you post is now in public domain. So it might be posted on your page, it might be posted on your account, but now it is in public domain. And anything and all the rules of public domain apply over there. Okay. Beware of autocorrect. So when you're typing, don't be in a hurry to type and send, type and send. There is autocorrect. So it should not change the meaning of your message. And as I said, avoid posting when agitated. Don't post anything when you're angry. Presenting a business card, if you see the picture on the screen, right bottom, that is a proper way of presenting a business card using both your hands. Accept the business card with both your hands. Okay. Very soon you will be present. You will, when you start working, you will get your own set of business cards. And shuru mein bahut acha lagta hai, अरे my business card, my card with my name on it. You are tempted to go around distributing it to everyone that you see, just to it gives you a nice good sense. अरे first time you see a business card with your name on it. But be selective. You don't have to go around distributing them to anyone and everyone. Okay. And a proper way of giving a business card is what you see in the picture. Okay. Give it, present it with both the hands politely, with a good morning or a good afternoon, and say, this is my card. Accept the card with both the hands. Give it face up so that the other person can read it. Make sure that your business card is proper. Avoid giving worn out, torn, or soiled business cards. Okay. Again, creates a very bad image about you in front of the other person. Do not do that. And make sure you always have your cards handy. Again, this picture that you see on your screen, right hand side bottom, this is an improper way of giving a business card. Don't give a business card or receive a business card very casually. Okay. Because when a person gives you their business card, they are actually, giving, it's like giving a part of yourself. How a person accepts the business card shows a lot about how much you respect that person. Okay. So take the business card, read it briefly, put it into pocket, put it down safely. Okay. These it looks like a very small thing, but it matters a lot. Okay. So always make sure. Okay. Personal grooming, very important. Now, personal grooming again in itself is a very big topic, and hopefully somewhere in the future I'll be able to talk to you about it extensively. But right now, see, keep in mind that nobody wants to be around a person who is, shabby or not clean or improper. Okay. Everybody likes to be around a person who looks good and keeps oneself good and keeps oneself well maintained. Right. So be very mindful about your personal grooming and your personal hygiene. Okay. Conservative haircuts. I mean, yes, I understand you're in college, so you will be tempted to, experiment with all kinds of styles. That is fine, but it will not be appreciated in your workplace. So a conservative haircut, nice combed hair, clean shaven face. If you have to keep a beard, make sure it is properly maintained. Okay. Be very mindful about your oral hygiene. Okay. That is to say, no bad breath. If you are a smoker, always please make sure that you carry some good breath freshener with you. Okay. You don't have to go around advertising your brand of cigarette to everyone. Okay. And proper pedicure and manicure. Use of deodorant. Okay. Now don't overdo it. You're not there to advertise your deodorant brand to the whole office. Okay. Just use it very mildly so that it's up to you. Right. Dress for men, of course, formals, formal shirts and trousers, suits, belts. When you're wearing a formal dress, the belt is best the same color as your trousers. Okay, so black or brown with a formal, nice, sober looking, basic looking buckle. Okay, again, a tie should be a formal tie, basic plain tie, or the one with stripes. Don't wear these ties, nowadays that you get with all kinds of designs, or a belt with a Harley Davidson buckle in a workplace. Okay, I'm talking about dressing in a formal scenario. Okay, in your personal life for a party, you can dress whatever way you want. Okay, very important. Black socks, black shoes and white socks are a big no-no. Shoes, black color goes best with any color or with any kind of dress. Wear them, and keep your accessories to minimum. Okay, keep your accessories to minimum. Don't be carrying too many accessories. Don't be that. Don't rather, I would say, don't go around looking like Bappi Lahiri. Okay, with rings in all your fingers and tons of gold chains hanging around your neck. Keep your accessories to minimum it gives a very neat and a professional look. Okay. Grooming for women, I think not many women will appreciate me, uh, you know, advising them on grooming, but still, I will take the risk. So, again, formal grooming for women. Uh, when you talk about formal dress for women, it is usually consists of business suits, salwar kurta or sari, which are basic colors, nothing very designer. Okay. Use matching accessories, well manicured, and of course, a good looking, minimal makeup in your official scenario. Okay. Matching footwear, keep your jewelry to minimum, and be mindful of your lipstick. Now, grooming in itself is a very big topic, so hopefully I'll be able to talk to you about this independently some other time, but for today we'll move on. Now, very important, we'll talk about etiquettes to be followed in some places, like in the elevator, right? So all your office places have elevators, right? So always avoid taking an elevator when you want to just go one floor up or one floor down. Take the stairs. No need to engage the elevator unless, of course, you have some serious physical or medical issue. Okay. In the elevator, avoid making loud conversations. Now, again, I'm talking about the official scenario, office scenario, where a certain kind of etiquette and a behavior is expected. Okay. Nobody will appreciate you cracking jokes or talking loudly or talking over your phone in an elevator. Okay. There, everyone expects you to be in a formal and a sober kind of a behavior. So please avoid any conversation. Needless to say, avoid throwing trash, keep clean, and excuse yourself. Whenever, if it's a crowded elevator, somebody standing in front of you, always excuse yourself. Don't push people while getting in or getting out. Okay. Hold the elevator door if you see someone approaching. That's always good manners. Help others, they'll help you. And of course, don't smoke in the elevator. Cubicle, this is your office cubicle, your workplace, that is meant for work. And do not interrupt people in the middle of their work, in the middle of their deep thoughts, right? It's a part of your basic workplace etiquette that you are expected to follow in your workplace. Somebody is sitting in his or her cubicle, busy in their work. Do not disturb them. Do not disturb them in their deep thoughts. Okay. Uh, it is about, you must have noticed the word internal customers. Who are your internal customers? So when you're working in a company, your colleagues are your internal customers or your immediate stakeholders. Okay. You need to create a good impression on them. No receiving or making personal phone calls during the workday, right? Remember, speaker phones and cubicles do not mix. So you might be chatting away with someone on a speaker phone, and people in the neighboring cubicles would be having a good time enjoying your conversations. So keep these basic things in mind, right? Workplace etiquette. Needless to say, office is a place for work. We all know that, and keep it reserved only for work. Most of the time, please keep your phones on silent. Okay. You might have some really good sounding ringtones, but they might disturb others. Okay. And behavior has to be business like always. Again, I told you that you might share a very good personal rapport with some of your colleagues, but that is outside your workplace. In the workplace, business like always, right? Please clean up after your meals. So if you are carrying your meal, and so please clean up. Please make sure that you clean up after you're done with your meals, because these things get observed. Leave your work desk looking good. So when you're leaving for the day, please tidy up your workplace and go, so that next day morning when you come back, you yourself feel like getting into that workplace and working. Don't let it look shabby when you're leaving from there. Okay. If you're sick, stay at home. I already told you about it. Knock on all doors before entering. Turn down the music. Okay, you might be the kind of person who works very well listening to music, but then keep it only to yourself. No need to make everyone listen to your music. Okay. Attend all the meetings physically and mentally. That is to say, be present there mentally. Turn off your devices. Complete attention. And of course, be friendly to the new employees. In school or college, we like to I mean, of course, nowadays ragging is not allowed, but you still like to act, bossy with a new student. So don't do that with the new employees in the workplace. Be friendly with them, because at one time you also have been friendly, right? Very, very important. Washroom etiquette. It's very important to be followed. Please use the place conduct your business, whatever you need to do, and come out immediately. uh, Maintain the basic standards of hygiene and cleanliness. You like to see a good clean washroom, please leave it like that for others. Okay, so use water liberally, do flush, check, check again more closely. Okay, now these things also are very important. People observe your etiquette, people observe how you're keeping your surroundings, your workplace, your washrooms, and they build an image about you. So make sure that your washroom etiquette is immaculate, right? Don't take your time. Okay, at home, many people have a habit of taking their mobiles or their newspapers or a book in the washroom. Don't do that in a public place. Okay, go there, finish your work, and come out. Let the other people let the other people use it, right? Okay, a little bit about dining etiquettes. So during your workplace, you will be expected to attend many office lunches and dinners where you are expected to behave in a certain basic manners are expected to be followed. Remember this, you will be representing your company, and your behavior will create or destroy the image of your company. So please make sure that you follow the proper etiquettes while dining, right? These etiquettes can make or break a deal. So even if you're going there on behalf of your company or you're going there as an independent business owner, your behavior, your etiquettes at the dining table or otherwise can make or break your business deal. Keep this in mind. Okay. So always sit down, put your napkin in your lap. Okay. When if you have to leave your chair during the meal, please put the napkin on the chair, push your chair in. Okay. When you are finished eating, don't just get up and walk away. Wait for everyone to finish. Get up with them. Okay. Don't bend your body to eat. Bring the food to your mouth. So make sure that your chair is placed reasonably away. Okay. Do not slurp or talk while eating. People have this habit of making funny noises when they are eating and chewing. Don't do that. Okay. It's not very pleasant sounding. Avoid placing your elbows on the table. Right. So when you're eating, keep your hands to yourself. If you're carrying a handbag or some kind of a bag, ideally when you sit down, place it behind your chair. Okay, so that it doesn't act as a interruption. And while eating, telephone conversations is a big no, right? So because the person sitting next to you might like to have a conversation with you, and also you want to do complete justice to the food that you're eating, right? So while eating, phone conversation is a very big no, right? Begin eating only after everybody has been served. So in a typical office lunch or a business lunch or a dinner scenario, don't start eating as soon as you're served. Wait till everybody's served and then start eating. Needless to say, chew with your mouth closed. So please start observing how you chew and how you do these things. Do not leave a spoon in cup. Use a saucer or plate instead. This is when you're having tea. uh, Avoid doing any makeup at the table. Avoid smoking there. And the use of toothpick should be very discreet. One of the habits that we are all taught when we are small children: do not talk with your mouth full. Okay, bad manners. In conclusion, let me tell you that your behavior is noticed by everyone, and this will be all the more so. Those of you who have been on an internship or when you go on an internship, please keep this in mind that your behavior will be noticed by everyone. Everyone around you is noticing not only your professional knowledge or your competence, but even your behavior. And let me tell you, your behavior in the long run will go longer in creating more, a better image of you, right? So, of course, we have covered different kinds of etiquettes, and we have just touched upon them. Each one of them is in itself an independent topic, which hopefully we should be able to talk about in detail in the coming times. But I hope I have been able to give you some basic etiquettes and you have benefited from that. So I am open to questions if you have any.